Here's a video of the beautiful clouds overhead as I do my morning success practice. I'm Robin Fate from the Foy Health Program, and I want to congratulate you for being here for the third day in a row. That's fantastic. The beauty of these 4 exercises is that they can be done absolutely anywhere, and there's really no equipment required except for a mat, possibly a couple of towels, and maybe a prop or two for some of the positions that we'll get into. So a pillow or a rolled up towel works just fine. Let's start out by taking 2 deep abdominal breaths. You may recall from prior videos that we are taking our abdominal breaths in a fashion similar to filling up a pitcher of water. Begin by filling up your belly, breathing up deep into your throat, and then reversing it, exhaling air out from the top, and then push with your abdomen to force the air out at the bottom of the breath. Let's flip over now into tabletop position. You can wag the tail of the dog to loosen up the spine lightly. Get in a ready position, arched up like a cat. Take a deep breath through your nose, hold it, breathe out. Get up in your cat position. One more time, deep breath in into cow, out again. Again, deep breath in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. One more time, deep breath in, breathe out. Okay, now flip over onto your back and hug your knees into your chest and gently rock from side to side to massage your lower back. With your hands on your knees, rotate your knees in circular positions in the opposite direction of each other. Let's do that 2 or 3 times. Now change direction. Okay, so let's do 3 full body stretches, or actually flexions. Laying flat on your back. Dorsiflex your feet, tighten your quadriceps, your abdomen, hands overhead and squeeze, and hold for 5 seconds. And relax. One more time, dorsiflex your feet, tighten your quadriceps, your abdomen, squeeze your fists overhead, hold it for 5 seconds, and relax. Do that one more time. Dorsiflex your feet, tighten your quads, your abdomen, your upper body, hands overhead, squeeze tight and hold it. And relax. Excellent. Okay, let's begin exercise number 1. Flat on your back, knees raised up, soles of your feet flat on the mat, hands along your side. We're going to do toe touches and heel touches, and then we're going to switch actually and do some leg raises as well. Take a deep breath in, raise your knees up, shins parallel to the mat. Breathe out as you drop your heels down. Touch 1, up, touch 2, up, touch 3, breathe out, up, touch 4, breathe out, up, touch 5, up, touch 6, up, touch 7, up, touch 8, up, touch 9, up, touch 10. Let's proceed with the same breathing pattern, but now touching our toes. Up for the ready position, down 1, down 2, down 3, down 4, down, breathe out 5, down, breathe out 6, down 7, down 8, down 9, down 10. So we're going to do 10 each of the leg raises for each leg. Straighten out your right leg, left foot sole is still flat on the mat. As you come up and raise your leg, you can lift your head up, take a deep breath through your nose, and then you breathe out as you lower your leg back down. It's 4, it's 5, 6, up, 7, up, 8, up, 9, up, 10. Okay, now switch legs. Left leg straight. Keep your knees straight. Up 1, up, down 2, up, down 3, up, down 4, up, that's 5, up, 6, up, 7, up, 8, up, 9, up, 10. Excellent. So let's prepare for exercise number 2. But before we do that, what I'd like to do is have you get into child's pose. So get a prop, put it behind your knees. Could be a pillow, could be a rolled up beach towel, anything that makes you feel comfortable. Or you could take that prop or another prop and you could sit on it, put it underneath your butt between your knees and sit down on it. That should take the pressure off your knees. Remember, you could bring your knees closer together or further apart. Now, put your head down onto the mat, or you can grab a prop, put it onto a pillow, and then gently walk your hands out in front of you and stretch them out as far as you can. And then gently allow your elbows to come back to the mat. This is child's pose. You should utilize this pose in between repetitions or in between full exercises. It's a restorative pose. So I prefer to take that pillow and put it aside and just allow my forehead to come all the way down to the mat. You can rock your shoulders, right shoulder up, left shoulder up, just to allow you to relax and get into the pose deeper. You can also actually reach back and you could feel your lower back and you could feel the tension. You can massage it if you want. I like to do that once in a while. The other place to put your hands besides stretched out in front of you or your arms is to put them alongside your body, along your shins, with the top of your hand touching the mat, and just relax. Allow gravity to pull you down to the mat. You can take a couple of deep breaths here. Now let's set up for exercise number 2. In order to do that, we'll be on our knees, as you recall from the first couple of days of videos. So take that towel that you have, or maybe your mat, fold it down, and I like to pull the corners in towards the center like you're folding an airplane, and then that'll give you a 4-ply for your knees. Kneel on that so that you take the strain off of your knees. Straighten your body up in a kneeling position. You can put your hands on your side. You can put them on your lower back or on your hips. I like to actually take my hands and put them right below my glutes, because you should, when you do this exercise, when you arch back, you should tighten up your glute muscles to protect your lower back. So I'll put my hand right below my glutes. I can feel my glutes. You could feel the stretch as you reach back and take your deep breath with your head back across your chest, down the front of your body. So you arch back, and then you could lean forward. Bring your head down towards the front of the mat with your chin touching your chest, or down as close as you can. That would be number 1. Deep breath in, back, forward, 2. Back, forward, 3. Back, forward, 4. Go at your own pace. Back, forward, 5. Back, forward, 6. Back, forward, 7. Back, forward, 8. Back, forward, 9. Breathe back, forward, 10. Back, forward, 11. Back, forward, 12. Back, 13. 14. 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, and this is the full position you want to get in ultimately. It's called the full camel pose, where your hands are touching your heels. Excellent job. Okay, let's set up now for exercise number 3. Take your mat and fold it out so that it's flat again. Flip yourself over onto your back. Hands stretched out behind you. Your knees are up in the air. The soles of your feet are flat on the mat. We're going to take a deep breath as we do so through our nose. Bring your head up and back. raise your body up, and then down as you breathe out. 3, up, 4, up, 5, up, 6, up, 7, up, 8, up, 9, up, 10. Now we're going to also do the traditional bridge pose for the next 10 or 11 repetitions. It's another option of this exercise. So flat on your back, knees raised up, feet flat on the mat still, arms along your body. And you want to lift your body up so that your torso is straight going from your shoulders all the way to your knees. As you lift your body up, you take a deep breath through your nose and then reverse it and breathe out as you let yourself down. Excellent. Okay. After you finish that exercise number 3, there could be some tension in your lower back, so there's a couple different ways to relieve that. First of all, bring your knees up to your chest. Gently rock back and forth. This should feel really good on your lower back. You can grab your shins, squeeze your knees and your shins in towards your chest. You can put your hands on your knees, rock back and forth, and you can do circles. Opposite direction of your knees. Do 3 or 4 or 5 of those, whatever's comfortable for you. And then after you do that, switch directions. It should feel really good for the lower back and relieve some of that tension that we created from exercise number 3. The other thing you can do, which is a really, really great stretch, is you could take your left ankle and put it on your right knee, reach through your legs, and interlace your fingers and grab your shin and pull that right knee towards your chest and push that left knee away. Switch sides, put the right ankle on the left knee, reach through, grab, and pull that again, pull that leg again towards your body. That's a really good stretch. Let's move ourselves and get prepared for exercise number 4. So either rock yourself up to a seated position, or you can just allow your knees to fall to one side and push yourself up and flip yourself over into tabletop pose. And again, this is a bit of a strain sometimes on the knees, so you can put a prop behind your legs, or you could sit on that prop. You could put it between your knees, under your butt. You could sit on it. I'm just going to set it aside, but you could certainly do that. We're also going to be on our knees, so fold your towel down again in half, and then fold the 2 corners down to as if you're folding an airplane, and then kneel on that. So to get in the ready position here, you're going to push yourself all the way back onto your heels or onto your prop, if that's what you have. And then you're going to walk your hands 1 or 2 hand lengths in front of you. That's the ready position. Come forward, head up, take a deep breath. Shoulders over your hands. Again, that's 2 as you push back and breathe out. Up, 3. Up, 4. Up, 5. Up, 6. You could walk your hands out a little bit further, and when you bring yourself up, allow your torso to fall down towards the mat. 7, deep breath in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Excellent. Keep going. 15. Couple more. 16. 17, 18, 19, okay, so I'm going to demonstrate to you the most advanced of exercise number 4, which is down dog to up dog. I'm going to move the mat aside or the towel aside so I can put my hands on a surface that doesn't slip. I'm going to curl my toes under, and I'm going to push myself up into down dog position. And then this is the start position. you come forward all the way past a push-up position, deep breath with your nose, head back, allow your body to fall down, push back up. That's 1. Again, deep breath, 2. So that's how you do the full exercise. We did plenty today, so there's no need to do any more of those exercises. Okay, we've finished our exercises for today. Fantastic job. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning, and stay tuned for the cognitive portion of the daily success practice. Hi, I'm Robin Fate from the Foy Health Program. This is part 2 of your Day 3 daily success practice, focusing on your cognitions, your mind, your thoughts. First of all, as we did yesterday, and as you should do regularly on your own, to the point of actually making it a habit, give yourself credit, give yourself kudos for taking this first step on your journey. You are here for the 3rd day in a row. You are building your willpower muscle. Please don't take this step for granted. It's part of training your brain, or really retraining your brain to think differently. It's the core of cognitive behavioral therapy, and CBT works to change behaviors. So let's focus now together on patting ourselves on our back and actually telling ourselves that we are doing good. Please do it with me. Okay, close your eyes. Please close your eyes and repeat each of these sentences after me. I am doing what it takes to live a healthy lifestyle. This is the 3rd day in a row, and I feel good about these efforts and myself. I am doing something different. I am making small incremental changes in my life that will accumulate into large changes in my health. These new actions will help me reach my goals. Okay, open your eyes. In the last couple of days, you learned about the new superpower that you have, the ability to change thoughts through the use of cognitive behavioral therapy. You further learned about a tool to help you develop that superpower called the 3C method, where you consciously think about your thoughts and catch the thoughts that are negative or self-sabotaging. Once you've caught or identified those negative thoughts, you check them. Specifically, you check your thought by doing 2 things. You ask yourself, is the thought helpful? And the second thing you do is give the thought the sniff test. You ask yourself, does this thought stink of BO? The acronym BO should remind you to ask yourself if your thoughts are based upon beliefs, the B, that are dysfunctional or flawed, and the O is your thought objective? In other words, based upon fact and not influenced by feelings or emotions or opinions. In order to assist you in determining if your thoughts are based upon dysfunctional or flawed beliefs, we provided a list yesterday of the most common flawed beliefs. And in the video on dysfunctional and flawed beliefs, we gave you concrete examples of thoughts based upon flawed beliefs. Then we gave you possible healthy responses to these flawed beliefs. Hopefully you were able to take a picture of those flawed beliefs so that you can refer to them in the future, so that when you check your thoughts, you have something to refer to. You can actually do this checking with any thought on any topic to determine if those thoughts are based upon flawed beliefs. Keep in mind that, like with any new tool that you might use, to make it beneficial for you, you have to practice using it. Soon, applying the sniff test to some of your thoughts will become second nature and will help you eliminate negative and sabotaging thoughts in many areas of your life. When you have a problem or face a situation that requires deep thought, identify your thought around the problem or situation. Open the picture that you've taken of the list of dysfunctional beliefs and apply the sniff test to your thoughts. Do the thoughts think of BO? Are the thoughts based upon flawed beliefs, and are the thoughts objective? This process will help you make the right decisions in many areas of your life. Using your new superpower, that is, the ability to change thoughts, will help you in many areas of your life. Part of your to-do list from yesterday was to write down the dysfunctional or flawed belief that you relied upon for the self-sabotaging thought you wrote down on page 22 of your success journal. So here's what anyone has to do. You have to follow a process. After I wrote down my thoughts on page 22 that were dysfunctional, I went to the picture I took of the list of dysfunctional beliefs, and I literally went down that list, one flawed belief at a time, to see if it applied to the thought that I wrote down. I identified and wrote down 2 negative thoughts. You remember it was part of our homework assignment a couple of days ago. You should have also written down 2 negative thoughts from your assignment from 2 days ago. If you did not write down a couple of thoughts that are negative about the Foy Health program, then please stop this video right now and write down a couple of thoughts on page 22 of your success journal. The actual assignment from last night asks you to identify the flawed belief that your negative thoughts from 2 days ago that you wrote down on page 22 were based upon. Let me actually do this now so that you see how the process works. I actually printed off a list of the flawed beliefs to help me do this. You could use your list from the picture of the flawed beliefs that you took on your phone. So the first self-sabotaging or negative thought that I wrote down in my success journal on page 22 was this. This program is going to be tough, and besides, I've tried dozens of programs or diets in the past, and I always fail. So what I did then is I took that thought, and then I went to the list of flawed beliefs, and I literally went down that list to determine if any of them applied. So, for example, the first dysfunctional belief is baseless rules. Is there a rule that I'm applying that doesn't really help out or is not applicable in this particular situation? So when I think of the baseless rules, dysfunctional belief, I think of the Clean Plate Club. I don't have to clean all of my food off my plate. I did that when I was a child. That's what my mother taught me. I don't need to do that now. I stop eating when I'm full. So does that apply to my particular negative thought that I wrote down? And it didn't. So I just went down the list, looked at the next dysfunctional belief, and so on. I got down to dichotomous thinking. In other words, all or nothing thinking. And in fact, I determined that it does apply. I said to myself, well, this is going to be tough, and for that reason, since it's going to be tough, I can't do it. Well, it's not all or nothing. There are modifications I can make in my lifestyle to make it work. So dichotomous thinking is a dysfunctional belief that applied to my first negative thought. I went down further. Overgeneralization is another dysfunctional belief on the list. And the key indicator here is using the word always or never. And sure enough, in my negative thought, I'll read it again, this program is going to be tough, and besides, I've tried dozens of programs or diets in the past, and I always fail. Sure enough, I'm using that particular word, always. So overgeneralization applied. I went down the dysfunctional beliefs a little bit further to see if any others applied. So magnification is another dysfunctional belief that seems to apply. I used the word tough, and I think what I did is I magnified in my mind how tough it was going to be. I mean, after all, this is not Navy SEAL training, right? It's not going to be that tough that I can't do it. So I magnified the extent to which this program will require my effort. And I said to myself, I can't do it, which is crazy. I can do it, just like you can do it. I continued down the list of dysfunctional beliefs. I went down to recency error. And recency error is the habit of basing a decision or having a thought which is unduly influenced by one or two recent events. Well, sure enough, I said in my negative thought, I tried dozens of programs in the past and they just don't work for me. So I'm thinking about my recent experiences. I've been successful in other areas of my life. Why is it I can't be successful in this? Because I'm thinking dysfunctionally using the recency error. Okay, so that's what I did with my first negative thought. My second negative thought, I'll read it to you, I wrote down on page 22 like you have, is I'm not a morning person, so this won't work for me. So with that second negative thought, I went down the list of dysfunctional beliefs, and the first rule applies. The first dysfunctional belief applies to my thinking, and that is baseless rules. I've said to myself, here's the rule. I'm not a morning person, so it doesn't work. Okay, well, I do a lot of things in the morning. If I get up because I'm going to play tennis or I'm going to play pickleball or I'm going to go on a vacation, I work fine. I function very well. So this rule doesn't really apply. It's baseless. It doesn't really apply to this situation for me. I can be effective in this program. I went down a little bit further on the dysfunctional beliefs list, and I came to jumping to conclusions. So in particular, under jumping to conclusions, I believe the false belief that applies is fortune telling. And what is fortune telling? And it's the practice of looking at a situation and predicting the outcome, whether positive or negative, without having enough facts to know what the outcome will be. So sure enough, I'm jumping to the conclusion. Just because it happens in the morning, I can't do it. It doesn't work for me. Finally, went down the list of dysfunctional beliefs further, and I came to dichotomous thinking. And dichotomous thinking is when things are either black or white and no shades of gray. Okay, so in my case, I said I'm a morning person. This won't work for me. Well, you know what? I can make some adjustments. I can incorporate into my lifestyle in the morning, just like I brush my teeth, I comb my hair, I have my coffee, I have breakfast, whatever you do in the morning. You can incorporate this into your process in the morning so it becomes a habit. So it's not like you're really adding a lot of time in the morning. You might be adding anywhere between probably 15 minutes and a half hour. And soon, once you start getting into a routine, you won't even think about it. You'll crave your morning success routine. So what have I found? I applied the dysfunctional beliefs list to my 2 negative thoughts and determined that there are many, many dysfunctional, unhelpful, or flawed beliefs that back up my thought process. And to be honest, you only need one. If there was one belief that is either dysfunctional, unhelpful, flawed, then your thinking isn't right. Your thinking is flawed. So that means that you've got to change your behavior. You've got to change that thought. And of course, as we progress through the program, we'll help you do that. But the first step, of course, as we know, is to catch it, catching that thought, checking it, and we're checking it right now. Now we've got to change it. So changing is part of the focus of today's lesson. So you are developing your superpower of changing thoughts by catching those self-sabotaging or negative thoughts and then checking them against a list of flawed beliefs like I just did with my 2 self-sabotaging thoughts. The final C of the 3C method is to change those thoughts. There is no magical way to change those thoughts. It'll take mental fortitude and some conscious effort on your part. But there is one proven way to help you change a thought that is self-sabotaging or unhelpful. And it involves the conscious effort of removing yourself from the situation and pretending like those thoughts that you wrote down or the thoughts that you're trying to change are someone else's thoughts. So in our case, pretend like the negative thoughts that you wrote down on page 22 of your success journal are someone else's thoughts. Once you do that, it'll be much easier to apply simple logic and write down alternative thoughts that are positive and goal-furthering, and which do not rely upon the justifications that have been created in your mind, which again rely upon dysfunctional, unhelpful, or flawed beliefs. One of the most effective ways to mentally separate yourself from the situation that led to the flawed thought, in this case, the negative thoughts that you wrote down on page 22 of your success journal, is to pretend that the negative or self-sabotaging thoughts are those of a person you love, like a family member or a best friend. This helps you minimize your personal emotions and be much more logical and objective with your new thoughts that you're creating. I mean, usually we all know what a healthy thought would be. We can identify that. And if we are creating that alternative thought for someone we love, the effort of developing a healthy thought, helpful and goal-furthering, becomes much easier. Think about it. You would never give your best friend or someone you love advice that is based upon some flawed justification. You'd give them sound, well thought out advice. In the separate dysfunctional, unhelpful, and flawed beliefs video, we offered some possible healthy responses to each of the flawed beliefs, and we offered best friend advice for each of those flawed beliefs. Take a listen to the dysfunctional, unhelpful, and flawed beliefs video again, and pay attention to the possible healthy responses and the best friend advice for each of the flawed beliefs. You can listen to the entire video, or you can just go directly to the flawed belief in that video that you wrote down that applied to your thoughts. It's time-coded to make it easier for you to be able to do so. We also have on the Foy Health YouTube channel a summary of the dysfunctional, unhelpful, and flawed beliefs, and a short list of some of the very common self-sabotaging thoughts and behaviors that we've heard, and we provide some possible healthy responses to. You can review this list of dysfunctional beliefs, and you can also review the common thoughts that we've seen and see what responses look like. Okay, so this brings us to the to-do list for today. Of course, take a picture of this to-do list and delete it after you've completed the items. Number 1, review the list of self-sabotaging thoughts and behaviors and rewatch the dysfunctional, unhelpful, and flawed beliefs video. Write down, change it on page 23 of your success journal, right after the flawed beliefs that your self-sabotaging thoughts were based upon. Now write down possible healthy responses to your self-sabotaging thoughts that are not based on dysfunctional beliefs. So for number 3, under change it, write down the best friend advice that you would give someone you love if they were having the self-sabotaging or negative thoughts that you wrote down. Number 4, on page 24 of your success journal, you wrote down why you want to return to health as part of yesterday's to-do list. On that same page, go a little bit deeper now and write it down. Write down the reason behind why you want to return to health. So what you're trying to do is find out what your true burning desire is. So for example, you may have said that your why was you wanted to be healthy and pain-free. But dig deeper than that. Why do you want to be healthy and pain-free? Do you want to be able to play the sport that you love? Maybe it's tennis or pickleball, or be with other friends that have the same passion. Or maybe you have young kids and you want to be healthy so that you can play with them in the yard. Maybe you want to be around to see your kids graduate from high school or college or get married. Or maybe you just want to be active so that you can participate in life's activities. Or maybe you want to set an example for your kids or others in your family and break the cycle within your family of, let's say, diabetes or obesity or some other preventable disease. This is your burning desire. So dig deeper to find out why you want to be healthy. It's not just to be healthy, you want to be able to do things when you're healthy. Those things that you want to do, that's your burning desire. And write that down on page 24 of your success journal. And finally, number 5, please confirm that you've purchased or you've located a couple of water bottles and a yoga mat or workout mat, some props that can help you get into comfortable positions. And finally, that you've created a space in your home where you can go every single day to perform and engage in your daily success practice. That's all I've got for you today. I hope this was super helpful as you continue on your healthy lifestyle journey.